We're here at the Regal Walden Galleria, where we just saw Gemini Man. And we're in a lot, because we are a lot of critics. This movie was one of the dullest and most exciting theater experiences I've had. It was simultaneously thrilling to watch and just boring, incredibly boring, which is not what you want for an action film. So the main reason I went to this was the high frame rate 3D, which I didn't know what to expect. I've seen 3D movies before. Whatever, it's 3D. It is what it is. This was something else. There was a level of clarity and realism that I have never seen before in a film. It was almost unsettling how just photorealistic it looked. It's really hard to describe, and it was distracting, but in a good way, because I kept looking at the screen going, this is really cool. This is awesome. Like, this looks amazing. But I was also thinking to myself, wow, what a boring movie. This is so dull. I mean, like you said, visually impressive, but as far as the story, it was the most basic, by the numbers, boring experience I've had at an action film in a long time. You have action star Will Smith, who should be able to carry something like this, but really his performance was muted at best. The action was fine, but the plot itself was one of the most paint-by-numbers experiences I've seen. Just really, really straightforward. One of the writers on this was one of the lead writers on Game of Thrones, David Benioff. So if you've seen season 8 of Game of Thrones, you could kind of imagine the kind of story that this was. No twists, no turns, just exactly what you think it's going to be every step of the way, and then it ends, and that's it. I don't know if it worked the way that Ang Lee wanted it to, but there's something here. There's something that a different filmmaker could do with a better story and a different plot to really use this technique to elevate filmmaking. I felt like I was watching a movie from the future. I felt like I was watching something different. And that alone is worth going to this for. If you're interested at all in filmmaking techniques and the types of things you can do in a cinema that you can't currently on like a home theater system, it's worth seeing. Go into it knowing that the movie is going to be the most basic, boring thing you've ever seen, but also just enjoy the theatrical experience of something that is unlike anything you've ever seen. The Will Smith clone was pretty good, like really actually pretty impressive. As a clone myself, I thought it was nice to see clones on screen. It was really kind of a cool experience, but when they showed the real Will Smith, you're like, that's the real Will Smith. And when they showed the clone, you could tell it was a clone. You could just tell. It was like 99% there, but still an impressive effort. Thank you again for watching. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time on A Lot of Critics.